Wa-pa-pa. Wa-pa-pa-pa. Wa-pa-pa. Welcome to Thera, Ghost, Johan, Analog. Hello. Let's see here. Hiya, guys. Hello. I hope all of you are doing well. Welcome to another episode of the Host in the Shell podcast. Creative focused podcast that, I don't know, I just kind of try to learn more about people's process, how they became a streamer, cosplayer, chef, artist, like whatever you do. I want to know more. Host in the Shell, yeah! Hello, Shiki! Welcome! Plush Mayhem, hello! That's some cute emotes you got there. I like those, the swerve head. So, I'm here with a very special guest. It's the cutest dog ant. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes. Hello. Hi, everyone. Hi, Tiff. So I see you. Hi, everyone. Neo Zero. Hi, guys. Greedra. I'm Drop. I'm, this is pretty descriptor. Good descriptor, the one you just told everyone. Like a jock ant, I guess is the word. That's literally lifted from my bio, right? I think it literally says that.
Yeah, I saw it, and I had a chuckle, and I was like a dog ant. Like dog for me means like American
sports.
Footballer. Yeah,
that's actually the one sport I don't play. American football. Actually, I don't actually play American football. It's like the only sport I've never actually tried before. I'm very loud, apparently. People saying.
Oh God. All right, thank you. Sorry, my bad. Now it should be a bit better.
Is it good now? Let's try it again. Let's test it out. Test it out again. I hope it's better now. But yeah, like I was saying, I'm Drop. I pretty much exclusively stream retro games. That's pretty much it, honestly. Well, it's a bit more specific than that. It's not like I just play like random retro games, but like more of a focus on like weird, obscure, lost retro stuff, I suppose, or maybe stuff people don't really, stuff that has like a bad reputation, or stuff that people like kind of forgotten about. Not like like Mario 64 or something.
Yeah, okay, that I didn't even think of that, because every time I tune into your streams, you're playing something I've like never heard about.
Yeah, I'm normally playing something like a total piece of shit, honestly. Like it's pretty much always awful. That's not true. It's stuff I enjoy, but a lot of the games I do pick games that like have maybe gotten lower review scores, or like has a general negative public opinion, because I like giving stuff second chances. I guess I like looking at stuff that was kind of like shunned by everyone and be like, is this actually as bad as people say it is? And 99% of the time it's not. So there's I do play a lot of like commonly accepted as bad games on stream, like Gex. I don't like Gex, actually, Tiff. God damn it.
I just think like streams of yours that I've really enjoyed, I think, didn't you do like a retro newspaper magazine type stream?
Yeah. I do a lot of like, aside from like good games, I do a lot of streams focusing on like old gaming media. It's like old gaming commercials, old gaming magazines, demo discs, promotional like digital magazines, stuff like that. This is kind of stuff that doesn't get archived often, because people don't really give it like a second thought, because like video games, pretty much every video game in existence is being, okay, they haven't all been archived, but for like major systems, of course, we have access to like for the Sega Saturn, for example, we have access to like every single video game that's ever been released on that, but we don't have access to like every promotional disc or every demo disc or like virtual magazines that have released in that system, because people don't really care about that kind of stuff, I guess, but I do. So I'm involved in like archiving that kind of stuff and like showing it off on stream, because I think it's interesting. I like that kind of stuff.
I think you mentioned games that have like generally like a lower review score, right?
Yeah.
there are many games that were made to be like really hard, and I think you call those kusoge.
The kusoge, not just like really hard, more like really difficult at like not just on like a difficulty level, like oh this has like a hard like difficulty scale, but just like hard to get into, you know? Like it's not a pleasant experience. That's what like a kusoge is. Like it literally stands for like shit game, I think, in Japanese. And it's games that like aren't very pleasant to play for the most part. But they have soul, they have charm, you know?
I see. Yeah, I think, yeah, like janky games. I know there are like some games where you need to look up like a guide, like a fan-made guide.
Oh, yes.
I think back in the day, people used like draw game maps
Janky, sure.
as well, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And for some
I
games,
do
you
not
need
like drawing game apps, but for some games you do need it. If necessary, I will always look one up. I do not like drawing game apps. I'm so sorry to there's like a pretty big fandom of gamers that still enjoy drawing those maps, especially in the retro community. You've probably heard of Etrian Odyssey before, you know, the DS series.
Yeah,
you
I
have to
know that
draw
one.
your own maps in that, and I hate drawing my own maps.
Or is it like a generated map? Is every map always like different, and that's why you have to like draw it out to remember?
Well, it's just it's in Etrian Odyssey. Every map is it's the same. It's not like randomly generated, but like you don't have a default map, and it's like a whole twisty maze and dungeon. So you have to map it out yourself because otherwise you're gonna get lost.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that sounds like really, really bothersome. But I heard a lot of good about that series. Like I know
It's
a lot
good.
of people like it.
It is fantastic. It is really, really good.
All right, I have my first question for you.
Sure.
So I want to know first, like, how did you become a streamer?
Like a streamer or like a VTuber?
A VTuber. Let's go with that.
Let's go with VTubing. This was this has been we're in 2023. Back in 2020, I like pretty much everyone here, I assume, was stuck inside during COVID and the lockdowns and stuff like that. My country had some pretty strict lockdowns in the Netherlands, and we pretty much couldn't go outside. So I started watching streams. Before that year, I never watched streams, like ever. Like once or twice. There's a couple of streamers I kept up with, but I was like, well, I'm bored because I'm inside all day. I wonder, like, maybe I should give this streaming thing a try. Well, not streaming, but like watching streamers, right? So I went to twitch.tv and I was like, who's online? I literally looked at recommended channels because I wasn't following anyone. Like I had 0 channels followed. And the first person that was recommended to me was someone that's a very close friend of mine nowadays. Her name is Maka. I don't know if you've ever seen one of her streams before. She's another retro VTuber.
I think I've heard of them. Are they a part of your circle?
No, she's a part of my circle, but not like of my group. I've never streamed with her, but she's a very, very close friend of mine. Maka Chan is her channel name, I think. And I saw her streaming, and she was like using I knew what VTubing was, right? I knew what VTubing was, but I never watched a VTuber before. I didn't watch any Hololive VTubers. I didn't watch like Niji Sanji. This was like the first VTuber I'd ever seen, and she was playing No More Heroes, which is one of my favorite games. So I click on her channel, and I was like, whoa, this is pretty cool, actually. You can stream as an anime avatar? Wow. And so basically, I just, I was like, okay, she was streaming a game. No More Heroes isn't like that obscure, but it's pretty niche still, right? And she had like a bunch of people watching her stream this niche, kind of trashy video game that I love. And I was like, okay, so you can stream as a cute anime and play shitty games no one cares about, and people will watch you. Wow, I need to start VTubing too, because I like both of those things.
That's such a cute story.
So I became a VTuber a couple months later, and now I have a bunch of people watching me play shitty video games only I care about, and I feel very lucky. So.
But it's nice that, you know, you kind of made your niche your own. Like, you don't feel bad about chasing trends, and you just kind of play the things that you're passionate about.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I have no interest in chasing trends or playing the popular game or stuff. I pretty much just stream stuff I'm interested in, and I think people appreciate that. And I've built like an audience of people that appreciate and like the same things I do. A lot of people stream for like just general audience building. Like I want to get like this certain amount of viewers. Uh, I pretty much am interested in building an audience I like. So even if like sometimes I have to take a road that brings in less people, that's fine by me. Because to me, what an important part of streaming is having people you like in chat. So if I think someone's fucking annoying, I'm just gonna ban them straight away. Which is not an attitude most of my friends share. Maybe a little harsh, but I do think it's important to have an audience you're comfortable with. So that's just what I think.
Yeah, I think it's needed sometimes. Like I support your take. I think I'm more of a like one strike is like a timeout and 2 strikes is a ban. I think that's like my
right. I think that's
healthy
fair.
middle ground. Yeah.
No, I think that's totally fair.
Greedra and Marigold, thank you for the follow. Thank you.
Thanks for following. Hi everyone.
Also, Oja Snila, hello. We're podcasting today. Learning more about Swirl Drop, the dog ant. Retro streamer. Like I relate to that because like what you said, you know, taking the road less traveled.
Yeah.
Because for me, I started out, let's see, what kind of games did I play in the beginning? I played Chin-Chan's Summer Adventure.
That's a great game.
That was like one of the first games I played.
I like that game.
I like that game a lot too. It kind of lost me a little bit with the dinosaur plot. Like it lost me there like a little bit.
A friend of mine is actually, did you know that's part of a series of games?
Yes.
It's called Boku no Natsuyomi, I think.
Picky's channel has a great playthrough of those
yes,
games.
Picky has streamed those. Oh yeah, Picky's. We're both friends with Picky, you know, of course. Yeah, Picky's, but has streamed those. But another friend of mine, Hilltop Works, is actually translating. I think the second game of the series. So I can't wait to play. I don't speak a lick of Japanese. So I'm very excited to finally play those games in English because I don't even speak a little bit. I've been watching anime for 20 years and I've never learned any Japanese. I think I might be a little stupid, but you know, that's the way it goes, I guess.
I think like knowing Japanese would make so many things easier because there are so many old games and old like visual novels that are just not translated. It would be so much easier to just boot these up and, you know, like translate them while you're playing. I assume some games aren't as dense in story.
I would be able to stream a lot more Kusage if I knew Japanese, because especially with NES and SNES, they don't have a lot of text, right? They don't have a lot of dialogue. So it would be really easy for me to stream those. But I never learned Japanese. I learned a lot of languages. I speak a lot of languages, but never Japanese, which I regret. Because it's easy to learn something as a teenager. It's not as easy to learn it as a full-grown adult. Hi, Gemini. Hi.
Hello. Thank you for the follow, Tengu Gemini. I appreciate it. I want to know, so when you're streaming, what is your favorite part of that creative process?
To me, streaming is like half. Streaming is not like the most creatively fulfilling thing for me. I mean, it is somewhat. To me, streaming is like half a creative pursuit and half just like hanging out with people. And to me, I think the more appealing part of that is I do enjoy, like, you know, making your overlays and making backgrounds and cool stream assets and stuff like that. You know, that is like somewhat creatively fulfilling to me, but it's not like the main reason I stream. Like, my favorite part of streaming is talking to people and talking to my chat and audience and hearing what the day's been like, their opinions and stuff. I love talking to people, and streaming is a really easy opportunity to talk to people, like in my chat. I mean, I have a very active chat, and I've been told it's because I pretty much respond to every single message. And I've had like multiple people go like, I don't know how you like get on stream and have like 4 conversations at once with like 5 different people, but like it's because that's why I stream. That's like literally why I stream. I like showing off games. I like showing off like lost media and stuff like that. But like my main number one reason for streaming, and the thing I enjoy the most about it, is getting to talk to people. So I think that's probably talking to people, talk to viewers is like my favorite thing about streaming. Yeah, swirl talk, exactly, Tiff, exactly.
I really get that because I think for me it's the same thing too. Like, I really enjoy the creative aspect of just like, you know, being a character, expressing
Right.
myself through that character. I think that's like a big part of it for me. But just the day-to-day interaction of like a self-curated space where,
Yeah.
you know, I have like-minded people around me. It really did a lot of good for my own mental health, even, I'd
Totally.
say.
Yeah. Some of my friends have gotten into streaming because they hadn't talked to anyone so long, and the opportunity to just talk to people has like improved their mental health and like their ability, their speech ability. You know, they're way better at talking than they used to be. So no, that's totally, yeah, I totally get that. Hi, Johan.
Hi, Johan! Welcome, welcome.
Welcome.
I think, like, at least for me, I sometimes even enjoy those streams where I just talk more than the streams where we have like a certain objective.
My streams, I do have like a specific thing I stream every day. Like, oh, we're gonna play this day, or I'm gonna show this off this day. But before every stream, before we do the thing I've planned for that day, I talk for about 2 to 3 hours. So, yeah, to me, the main part of streaming is talking, and not like the game I'll be playing. That's like a side bonus.
I think like some games are also like, for some games you need to focus like really hard to not die, and like that can make like talking to chat a bit more difficult.
That's why I don't play specific games. I don't play bullet hells. I love Toho, but I won't play it on stream because how am I going to play Toho and read chat at the same time? Because, like I said, I have a pretty like active chat, and like I don't like I'm not obligated to respond to every message, but I want to. So I feel bad if I miss a message, and I don't want to miss a message because I want to see what people have to say. So I don't play bullet hells or like other games that like need too much attention. There is an exception to that, shooting games, like FPS games. Not to toot my own horn here, but I'm pretty good at those. So it's really easy to like play them and read chat at the same time. But like some of my friends have been like, I don't know how you play FPS games and read chat. Like I cannot do that. It really depends on what you're good at, because I have a friend that's like excellent in bullet hells, and she could play bullet hell and read chat at the same time. It is the most impressive thing in the world to me. Exactly, Greeter. I get sprayed in the face if I don't respond.
Is it like ant spray?
Yeah, ant spray, ant spray.
No! I think for Toho there is an easy mode though, isn't there? There is always like a character that's like training wheels.
But I grew up in the Toho community. Ever since I was a child, I've been posting on Toho forums, and there is a very famous meme, Easy Modo, which is just an image of a Toho girl making fun of you for playing easy mode, and that's like ingrained in my soul. So I can't play easy mode. I just remember I've went through too many years of being made fun of like for playing easy mode.
Honestly, respectable.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite Toho character?
Marisa, easily. Marisa's my favorite. I have Marisa as a figurine on my shelf right now. I love Marisa and her big poofy hat.
Okay, that's really respectable. She's also really, really cute.
Thank you. Kimoi.
I think for me it's Cherno.
I love Cherno as well. I also have a Cherno figurine right next to Marisa.
Oh, me too. I have the pop series.
Nice.
That one's really cute.
Cherno's really cute.
I don't know, like for me, Toho is just such a big part of the like early 2000s sphere.
To me, Toho is the internet is like the internet forums and like Toho, and like it's just one of those things that was the internet to me at the time. Like nowadays the internet is so like global, but like only like 15 years ago the internet was so much smaller, and basically all the communities I posted in were all Toho obsessed. So Toho to me is like the early days of the internet. I can't like disassociate them.
It's so funny for me because like I'm from Germany, right?
Right.
So I grew up having to kind of learn English like through the internet.
Right.
And I didn't understand like a lot of context for discussions that were taking place. I didn't understand where certain characters were from, you know, like I didn't know what the Toho was. Like I thought, oh, this is like an anime, right?
It's like anime. Most people think that first, yeah.
And I think I discovered Toho through like DeviantArt because there were people like drawing Reimu and Marisa together a lot of the time.
Not my ship, but all right, you know.
I just remember like I really liked like when I saw like Cherno for the first time, I was like, wow, this is like peak character design.
Oh yeah, it is peak character design. I could see a little Cherno in your design as well, honestly.
Ah, thank you.
It's a good design. It's a great design.
It's just like, I don't know, like all of them are so dear to me. Like if I could have $1 million, I would just buy all the Fumos. I'd buy all the plushies.
Yeah, one of my friends is obsessed with buying like Toho Fumos. You know, I'm not really like buy Fumo, not Fumos. I've had plushies from time to time, but like if they're a bit too expensive, I'm like, I'm good.
They're like unreal. Like the scalpers really did a number to them. They're like unreal how expensive they are.
They are unreal. One of my friends, Mimi, one time she streamed her attempt at buying a Fumo, and it's like the funniest stream I've ever watched. It was just her like screaming in her attempt to get a Fumo. It was really funny. Yeah, Marisa likes to borrow, aka steal things.
Yeah.
Sorry, what were you gonna ask?
No, I was gonna read out Gemini's message.
Oh yeah.
To find fan art of Marisa from Street Fighter 6 dressed as Marisa from Toho.
I would play as that character in SF6 if she had a Marisa outfit. Absolutely.
That would sway me, definitely.
Same.
I think it's just so funny because like all of these characters are so cute, and the more you like delve into the lore and the side characters, the more like great designs you discover, and like the fan songs and fan videos, they're all so good.
No, absolutely. It's a wonderful series. It's a wonderful creative series with a lot of people that love it. I really like Toho.
I like there's like a song, and it's the character that's singing it is Inspector Yamazamadu, I think is their name. And they're like accusing everyone of being guilty for like a crime. And
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
One of the crimes is having big boobs or like bigger chest than them. I like that one.
Yeah, Tiff is familiar with it. We got someone familiar with it in chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of like really memorable, iconic. Yeah, Iosis makes a lot of iconic, memorable Toho tracks, like Cherno's Perfect Math Class.
Yeah.
Marisa Soul, The Precious Thing. You know, those are all like embedded in my soul forever.
The one with the hamburger.
Yes.
I like that one a lot. That's like my favorite like brain rot song. Like I just listen to that to get my brain just like devoid of any thought.
No, I totally understand.
So your favorite part of streaming is just talking to people and just kind of the social aspect of it. But what is your most difficult part for you when you're streaming?
There's not too much about streaming I like actively dislike. I guess the most difficult part about streaming to me is being expected to like I said before, a thing I don't like doing is like I don't like doing stuff I don't want to do, and the active like part of streaming is like there's a lot of like base upkeep that goes on in the background, just like a lot of like maintenance you have to do. You have to like archive your VODs, like you have to like network on Twitter. Like people expect that from you. I don't use my Twitter basically at all. But like I know if I did, it would probably be a good thing for my stream. But I just can't be bothered to like. There's so much I can't be bothered to make a VOD channel. To like, it makes me sound, like a bit lazy, I suppose, because a lot of my friends do that, and it is good for your stream. It's good for your channel. But I just want to focus on the stream itself, right? I don't want to focus on like the stuff around it. I just want to stream and stream. That's what I want to do. I don't want to like do all these little additions that have nothing to do with the stream, like networking and, you know, VOD archiving and technical difficulties. I really just want to stream. I wish I wish I could just press a button and everything goes right and I stream, it's over, and I just have to press the same button the next day. But pretty much every day I'm like fiddling around in OBS, changing scenes, and it's just I don't find any of that fun at all.
I get that, because like I sometimes feel like like to see Sierra has a point there.
Get a
Like,
manager.
sometimes I just feel it would be so much easier if I had like a team behind me.
Yeah, exactly. Like someone in chat just said, like, get a manager. I wish.
Yeah, like that. Especially like you said it with so much dread in your voice when you said like mod archiving.
Yes.
I hate that.
Yes. I hate that.
It
And
takes me
OBS,
so long.
yeah.
Like
It is so much fiddling. Yeah.
I upload my podcasts on my YouTube when
Right.
they're done. And I only do minimal editing when it's like really needed, you know, when there's like I don't know, like a troll or something. I sometimes like edit that out.
No, yeah, I get you, yeah.
But still, like, for some reason there's like some sort of mental blockade for me, and it takes me like a month to upload one YouTube video.
Oh, I have the same thing. I have the exact same thing. I totally understand the mental block, yeah. Don't worry. I get you.
For me also, I've been like trolled by YouTube because sometimes I'll like upload a video and it takes like 2 hours, and then like 1 hour 30 minutes in, it's like, oh, this upload was faulty, you have to upload it again. I'm like, nah, I'm not doing this
Right.
again. I need my bandwidth. Like, I can't do this right now. This is not
Right.
happening.
Yeah. No, I totally get that. Like, that's the kind of stuff that really annoys me about like streaming. But there's no way around it, you know.
That's true.
Oh well.
OBS is an unending nightmare of fiddling. Yeah, Gemini is right.
Yeah. It really is. It really is.
The worst thing is just like when an update comes out and things suddenly start to break, and then you like research your plugin and you're like, dang, this hasn't been updated yet. I need to find a workaround for the time being till the plugin is like updated.
Right. Yeah. It's there's so much like relying on other people and like other programs. It's just I just wish I didn't have to like I wish like if something broke, I wouldn't have to like spend hours finding out what the problem is. Like that's why I don't like a lot like computers in general. I don't like fiddling around and not knowing what the problem is. If like a physical object breaks, I'm like, okay, that's the problem. Like, you know, it's splintered, it cracked, or I'm pretty useful like fixing stuff like physical objects. But when it comes to computers, it's like, okay, I have to like spend 5 hours like going through Reddit forums finding out what this single obscure technical issue is with my PC.
And sometimes the answer doesn't really like make sense. Like sometimes it really is a turn it off and turn it on again, and then miraculously it works again.
I've had that happen before, and I'm just like, all right, whatever.
So one thing I do want to know is with like guests I had on the show prior, many of them have expressed to me that they have to deal with things like art block or imposter syndrome, or just like procrastinating things out. Like, do you find yourself hitting similar roadblocks, or like, you know, any other roadblock that you'd want to talk about?
When it comes to like artistic roadblocks and stuff like that, my day job is like being an artist, right? Like, I make art for a living, and like I definitely have experienced like I don't think there's like a single artist that hasn't experienced like some form of art block, right? No matter if you're a writer, a filmmaker, a musician, a drawer. I don't know what the phrase is for people that draw. Yeah, it's furniture. There used to be the word called I think a draughtsman used to be what we call people, but like nowadays you just say like artist, right? But like I don't know, but you know, people that draw. But everyone's like encountered art block. So of course I have had that, but when it comes to streaming, the thing I normally like, the mental block I normally get is just like, you know, it's just like depression, or like, if I'm in a bad mood, I don't want to stream in a bad mood. Like streaming is something I do when I'm cheerful. Some people stream like cheer themselves up. I don't really like streaming while I'm in a bad mood. I feel like it just like kind of weighs the stream down, in my opinion. But it's fine for other people. Some people stream and they like, you know, it cheers them up, like genuinely. But me, I just get like increasingly grumpy, I feel. So I think that's like the mental block I have when it comes to streaming. If I'm in a bad mood, I can't stream. I just can't stream. I won't do it. But like as for like imposter syndrome and a lot of the other stuff, no, not really. Not really. Most of my like issues don't really come from like artistic endeavors or streaming or stuff like that. I'm never really down on myself when it comes to like that. It's mostly just like, you know, like personal issues, real life stuff. And but I can't really say honestly, I as an artist, I've always had an opinion you should have a certain level of arrogance. Not too much arrogance. Not that, like, if you're too arrogant, you start mistreating people. I don't think that's good. But I think as an artist or as a streamer, you should have a certain level of arrogance that you're pretty good. So I've never really doubted myself when it comes to that. I think I'm a pretty great streamer, and I've never once not thought that, honestly. And when it comes to my, like I said, I'm also an artist in real life, and I've always thought that as well. Like I'm good. I'm really, really good at this.
I like your attitude.
Thank you. I think to succeed as an artist, you need some level of confidence in yourself. Just don't get like confident enough to start looking down on other people. Like, have the level of confidence that makes you feel good about yourself. Don't have the level of confidence that means you think you're better than everyone else. That's my opinion on it. Yeah, like confidence, Greedra.
I think one part of it is definitely not to like look down on people, but I think another part to keep in mind is just that don't get overconfident and forget that, like, you know, you can still like improve. Like, that's something that I sometimes struggle with, where
of course
sometimes I'll like stream and there's like, you know, like an alert is like not working, or like
right.
a channel point redeem isn't working.
Hey, thanks for the gift sub.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gemini.
So much, Gemini.
Thank you so much for the gift sub. I really appreciate that. No, wait. Yeah.
Yeah, like for me, sometimes I'm like, oh, I'll fix this another day. Like I don't have the mental energy to go into the nitty gritty in my OBS and my what do you call, like, alert center, my Streamlabs alert console, and I'm just like, nah, I don't want to do this.
I totally get that. I totally get that. Yeah.
And I'll just be like, yeah, you know, maybe it's fine the way it is, but then the perfectionist in me is just like, this overlay, this could be nicer, this emote, this could be better. I
am pretty much the opposite for perfectionist. If I do something as like artistically, if I do something, I'm like, that's good enough. Yeah, sure. No, I'm pleased with it. I'm very easy. I'm very easy to please when it comes to art. I pretty much just go with the flow. Of course, that's not always a good thing. You know, I make a lot of sloppy mistakes. I don't double check my work. I make a lot of sloppy mistakes, but also, from what I've been told, at least, it results in a lot of like spontaneity. You know, a lot of like free form expression. That's really pleasant. I'm just talking about like my like. Well, I guess this kind of applies to my streams as well. I kind of just go with the flow. I don't plan things out. I just do it.
It's so funny. Like, you're the opposite of me.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Like, I always say, you know, luck favors the prepared, and I'll do my best to like prepare, and I get really anxious, for example, when like a game doesn't work properly, or like, again, like a sound doesn't work properly, but then sometimes I'm just like too paralyzed to kind of like deal with it right away. Right. But like, I've kind of taught myself to do it as you do a little bit, to just kind of go with the flow, and like if something doesn't work and it's out of my control, at least it will be funny. Yeah, if you're in live entertainment like we are, you know, you pretty much have to go with the flow at sometimes. Like, you're live, you know, it's sometimes you have to play it off or laugh it off. It's just part of what we do, you know. I think the only thing that kind of makes me scared is when someone joins my stream having like bad intentions, trying to like get a rinse out of me. Right, yeah. Yeah, that kind of thing.
I personally don't mind that very much. Gout. Yeah, Greedra. I've had that happen a couple times, of course. I don't really mind. Unlike most VTubers, this is a bit of a generalization about VTubers, but the ones I know at least are mostly introverts, right? And they weren't like super social most of their lives. I think that's wonderful. You know, I like introverts. Like that's why I mostly befriend introverts because I think extroverts are slightly annoying sometimes. But I'm definitely an extrovert.
Same.
And I think I'm slightly annoying. But most of my life I've gotten in a lot of fights. I've gotten in a lot of arguments. I've gotten into a lot of conflicts. So I've gotten so used to it. It's if most of the trolls on Twitch.tv are like children, like literal children, and when they come into my stream and they try to get a rise out of me, it just doesn't affect me anymore. I'm just like, oh, all right, okay. I've spent like the past 20 years posting on the internet. You don't like I wish I could tell them this, like all these kids trying to troll. I'm like, you don't know what trolls were like in like 2009, dude. They were like way worse.
That's true. Now that I think about it, it's like I think Twitch is actually, or like the auto mod features are like quite good at just filtering out most of the hate you could potentially get.
I don't even have automod turned on because my crowd knows how to behave, and if someone misbehaves, they get booted right away.
Yeah.
But it's just like, as someone that's posted on internet forums since like 2001, I've seen it all. Like I'm used to everything at this point. So like some kid coming in and being like, you're pretty gay. I'm like, I am. I mean, yeah, sure, I am. Like literally gay. So thanks. Anyway, see you later, you know. It's always, I've never had someone like explicitly super hateful. It's always just like an obvious troll, you know. Luckily, I've never had someone that like, you probably know what I'm talking about, like really, really hateful.
Yeah.
But luckily, I've never had to deal with that so far.
I think I sometimes had like bots that would post like weird messages, or it's like a copy pasta maybe, where the content of the message is always like fake doxing information. It's like they're basically trying to dox, like, I don't know, Pokimane, Amaranth, like bigger creators.
I totally get that. I'm not really phased by a lot of the stuff that like, and I totally get that this phases people, that makes them nervous. I used to post on like I used to post on a lot of forums, a lot of like unmoderated forums, and I've had like multiple people try to dox me, and it's, you know, it's just something like I've gotten used to at this point. Like so many of these like internet threats and pranks and stuff, they just don't affect me anymore. They really don't. I've become like desensitized to like all of it. I'm just like, all right, sure, whatever.
I feel something that's really important is just that while you're streaming, you have to kind of stay in control. Like if someone tries to engage with you in like a bad faith, you have to recognize that and take action like instantly. It's not worth trying to convince them to like behave differently.
Oh yeah, no, I don't argue with people in my chat. If I don't like someone, they're gone. And sometimes they send ban appeals like, you didn't even let me speak. I'm like, well, you know, you could talk somewhere else. Just not here.
I respect
Gemini.
that.
There's some kind of joke there. I can't think of it either, Gemini. Also, thank you, Digi.
But like, so when you pick out a game, or when you try to discover like new games to stream, what drives you to choose a certain game?
I like experiencing stuff with I like experiencing stuff, but I also like seeing other people experience stuff for the first time. And I have a chat and audience that's very talkative, because that's what I like to encourage. So I like to pick stuff I think people would find interesting, or get a reaction out of people, or I basically the way I feel it is like I'm experiencing something for the first time with my friends, my chat, and while just having I want to pick somebody that like draws out interesting like opinions and experiences and reactions out of people. So I try to pick stuff that like hasn't been streamed very often before. If a bunch of my friends, I remember for Halloween I was going to stream Illbleed, one of my favorite games ever, and then I saw Picky was streaming Illbleed, like a bunch of my friends were streaming Illbleed. I was like, all right, I'm not going to stream Illbleed because I share viewers with a lot of my friends. We all have our own unique user bases, of course, but when you get to a certain point, like 20% of my viewers like also watch all my friends, and I want to play something that's fresh for people. I want to see fresh reactions. I don't want someone to go like, oh yeah, this part's pretty funny, I've seen this part before, it's pretty amusing. No, I want to see their fresh reaction to something. So I try to pick stuff that doesn't get streamed very often, and I try to pick stuff that gets a little crazy and a little interesting, because I want to see people like pogging. I want to see like people in chat going like, whoa, this game is crazy, because it's fun. I love that. It's fun to me. It's really fun.
Like some games are like so underexplored. Like I know there is a lot of what do you call them? I think they're called shmups.
Yeah, shmups.
They're like shoot 'em ups. Yeah, there are like so many of those which have like an insane art style and like an insane enemies. Like those I imagine like get great reaction out of people. Like that's something I want to try playing.
Shmups are really fun. Shmups are really, really fun. But yeah, I like to pick like weird janky. That's part of why I like weird janky games, because they're very ambitious often. And if you play like, I don't know, like the new God of War, the new Call of Duty, the new Uncharted, you kind of know what to expect. Like, I'm not saying they can't have interesting stories, because they do, but they're not really surprising. You kind of know what you're getting out of a game like that.
Really,
but if I play, yeah, they're really sterile. Like, they're well-crafted experiences. They're just not very interesting to me. But if I play something from the PS1 era called like one of the Clock Tower games, or like, there's a lot of interesting janky PS1 games that try so much crazy shit, and it's really interesting, but no one sees it because no one was willing to give these games a chance. And I like streaming those. And I like, they're like a lobster. I like cracking it open, getting into the good meat inside, getting past the hard shell.
That's a good metaphor for that. Like, I know there is like this one game, I think it's called Heart of Darkness.
I love Heart of Darkness. I've gotten so many of my friends to stream that.
Yeah, like it's such a tiring experience to play. Like it's a really difficult game to play and enjoy. But it is just so cool to see.
It is incredibly tough.
Yeah, it's like, that's what I meant earlier with like drawing your own map and like having your own little like game guide of how to play it like properly and not kind of grief yourself.
Yeah,
like that kind of thing.
Yeah, no, Heart of Darkness is a perfect example. A lot of people give up within the first hour because it's incredibly difficult and it plays weirdly. But if you stick with it, there's so many like beautiful animations in that. Mostly your character getting killed, but they're really well animated, and there's a lot of goodness in that game. There's a lot of fun in that game, and I've gotten so many of my friends to stream that. It's great.
I think it's almost kind of sad that like nowadays a lot of games are just so sterile, was something I said earlier, but also just like they're so like tested to like a focus group. They're just so clean and like I don't want to say inoffensive, like I don't want to sound like a weird boomer, but it's just like
they're safe.
They're safe. They aren't really trying to like reinvent the medium,
Exactly. Yeah, Heart of Darkness is outstanding. Hi, Charlie. You're right. You're 100% right.
Hi, Charlie.
Video games, AAA games, not like video games in general, just a lot of cool indie games and, mid-budget games. But AAA games in particular are very homogenized nowadays. They're very focus tested and they're very safe. And it results in experience, like, almost none of these games are, like, bad, which is, like, I think the intention. If you play, like, Horizon Zero Dawn, God of War, Uncharted, Last of Us, none of these are going to be bad because they're not allowed to be bad. They have to be as like technically proficient and okay as possible. But I think art is more interesting if it's allowed to make like mistakes or be bad or do things that the consumer that might not like. And the PS1 and PS2 era had a lot of games that pretty much were not concerned with like what a proper game structure is, and they just wanted to do whatever they felt like that to me is, that to me is fun. That's the beauty of gaming to me. That's the fun part. And Gollum.
Yeah, Gollum definitely didn't reinvent the genre.
Gollum is very funny. Gollum is very, very
for
funny.
the wrong reasons.
Yes.
I just think like nowadays, at least for me, I don't know how it is about you, it's kind of hard for me to engage with AAA titles in a good faith way. I don't know if I'm just really jaded.
I don't really even play AAA games anymore. I don't play them anymore.
I can't really do it.
I just don't play them. The last AAA game I bought this year was oh god. I don't know. The last AAA game I beat was, I think, Elden Ring, which I loved, but that was 2 years ago by now, I think. Or like a year ago, a year and a half, I think.
That game doesn't have a battle pass, so that game doesn't count.
It does not have a battle pass, yeah.
That's the only important thing for me. Like, I get so sad nowadays when I see it's like cosmetic content, microtransactions, battle pass season 1, battle pass season 2. Immediately I'm just like, nah, I don't wanna engage with this. I don't want a game that like ties me up for life. I played League of Legends for like 12 years. You know, like I can't do this again.
I totally get that. I totally understand. Same.
I think like I'm currently playing the new Pokemon game, the Scarlet and Violet.
Right.
And I'm quite surprised because I thought I'd hate that game.
Yeah.
But I'm really allowing myself to criticize it while I play. Like at the beginning when I started playing it, I thought, oh, you know, I don't want to say bad things about the game because I don't want to ruin the mood. If someone like really likes Pokemon and I'm just saying, oh, the graphics are shit and the menus are shit and it all looks so horrible. But like, I still get this like childlike enjoyment out of it almost because I'm allowing myself to dislike certain parts of the game.
Right.
And I think, at least for me, this will be like the only way I can engage with these type of games.
I get what you mean. I think Pokemon's a pretty good example of that as well, yeah.
Like, the sauce is still kind of there. It's just really watery this time with the new games, you know?
Yeah, that's a pretty good comparison. I totally get what you mean, yeah.
So, I have another question for you. Also, let me hydrate real quick. That's actually a good call.
Sure. Like a DS game. I haven't played Pokemon games since Diamond and Pearl.
I envy you in a way. You're, you're probably not as cynical. Because
I'm very much not cynical, no.
I kept up with the games and I kind of got disappointed with each entry like a little bit more. Mm-hmm. Like, personally, I just kind of thought this could just be a lot better if someone applied some critical thinking skills like at certain part. Like, it's really unoptimized, you know?
Yeah, I get what you mean, yeah.
Like, this could have been in the oven for like 6 months longer. Maybe
they got pushed out a little bit early, unfortunately.
Yeah, and it's just the hardware is holding it back. You can really tell with the Switch, unfortunately, that it's goofing. Like the load-in distance for like the trees and the Pokemon, like all the things is just so small. Everything just kind of pops in.
That is, I've seen footage of it, and it looks like the Switch is like dying.
Yeah, like it's a bit embarrassing, to be honest, like a current gen console.
It is. I genuinely think it is, yeah.
For that price tag as well. But my question for you is, do you have any advice for young aspiring creators?
Young aspiring creators, like in general?
For streaming, for VTubing, kind of like
just for streaming or just like creating stuff in general?
Both if you want. Like, I'd love to hear both answers.
I think for VTubing, I think a big thing to realize is if you want to, I think everyone should start VTubing if they're interested in it. I think it's really fun. I think it's a really interesting hobby, and I think it's really neat. It is really neat. I think a big thing and this applies to like your creation of art in like real life and
Yeah,
we're all aspiring creators.
Yeah,
for
I should
anyone.
have worded it that way.
for anyone that wants to become a creator or make art or feature, go for it. It's fulfilling. It's creative fulfilling. It's healthy for you. It's fun, and it lets you meet a bunch of new wonderful people. Just don't get too tangled up in the business side of it. Don't like it. There's a lot of like tweets and videos about how to maximize your profits and your feed tubing and your engagement and stuff like that. It's really just approach as a hobby, because it probably will only be a hobby for like 99% of the people. And it really gets not fun if you start focusing on numbers and profits and all that kind of stuff. And most people go into like feed tubing and a lot of similar hobbies thinking, oh, that won't be me, I won't get wrapped up in that kind of stuff. And then after a couple months of streaming, they're like obsessed with their viewer count. And just do like everything you can to not end up like that. Hide your viewer count, like hide it, like literally never look at it ever. And like no other numbers either. Like download plugins to like fudge your numbers. You will feel so much better like about streaming and about like everything in general. Cause I love streaming, but I would say it was more relaxing to me back when it was purely a hobby. Nowadays it's gotten to the point where I do kind of have to focus a little bit on stuff like that, because I'm applying for partner. Like I pay my rent with streaming. It's not like my main job, but like I earn enough off of streaming that I pay my rent with it every month, which I'm eternally grateful for. It's amazing, and I couldn't imagine that was possible. But it does result in a little bit of added stress as a whole. Like I have to think about, like, especially when applying for partner, I have to be like, oh shit, like is this gonna be like, how are my numbers, is Twitch gonna like accept me this time? Because I got rejected. I just got my partner application rejected, but luckily you can apply as many times as you want. So that's kind of like got me. Streaming's a bit less fun nowadays. I still love it, and it's fulfilling, but it definitely is more stressful than it used to be. So my advice to everyone would just be to really just chill the fuck out, like in all aspects of creation, of like creative like endeavors. Just chill out, just relax, just take it easy. It will always be better than taking it too seriously, in my opinion. Also, hi Waterfall.
Hi Waterfall. Yeah, this is Swirl Drop. They're a jock and that plays retro games. And they're lovely.
Thank you.
Some of my viewers might remember this. But I had a phase where I would play a game for one stream, and then I'd like, if someone would ask me, oh, when will you play this game again? I'd be like, nah, this doesn't retain viewer numbers well. This isn't like working out. And I get really sad because sometimes these would be like the games I really like. For example, we played Yume Niniki. So
I love Yume Niniki. Yeah.
Like the second part, the fan-made, almost endless game, you could say, with like tons of fan content.
Oh, like Da Flow, I think.
Yeah.
Or is it? Yeah. You know, Tuki? There's a lot
Tuki. I called it Niniki because Ni is two in Japanese, so I thought that's how it's meant to be pronounced.
Oh, I see.
Because then it's kind of a pun with like the original game. Yeah.
Right.
And there was like a time where I bought Sonic Frontiers on release. And I played Sonic Frontiers for, I think, like, let's see, to refund a game on Steam, you have to play it for less than 2 hours. So I think I played that game for 2 hours and 30 minutes. And I was like, I hate this game. I never want to stream this again. Even though it invited new people to my stream, I was like, I can't do this. This is like such a dog shit game.
Oh no.
And then I tried to refund it, and it was like, yeah, you played it for 30 minutes too long. And I was like,
Oh god, yeah, that's the worst feeling in the world.
Yeah, I played it for 2 streams and I hated it. And then we played like Yume Niniki the stream after, and I was like, I'm in my lane. I'm moisturized, I'm thriving. Like this is where I want to be. This is so much better.
I totally get that, yeah.
Funnily enough, I released a survey recently, I think yesterday, where I asked my viewers what they think I could like improve, or games, that they want to see. And there was one person that said, they really want to play more like old, obscure Y2K games, and they really want me to like lean into that.
Hey, I think that would be. Hey, that's what I do, and I have to tell you, it's a good time. So I agree. You should try that out. It's fun. It's a lot of fun.
And I know that person has like they really like exploring like obscure websites and like the old internet.
That's wonderful. Yeah, I really like that kind of stuff. You should give it a try. I think here's my other advice for aspiring streamers. Okay, unless you're like not saying you shouldn't stream what you're not interested in. No, wait. You shouldn't stream what you're interested in. You should absolutely stream what you're interested in. And I'm not saying this as like an attempt to like. I wasn't deserving. I did send deserving, but that could have been me. That could have been me easily. But what was I saying? Right. So I definitely do stream what you're interested in. I'm not trying to give this piece of advice as like, oh, like trend chase or like try to stream things you think will get the most viewers. But you should absolutely find a niche. Everyone has a niche. Even if you think you don't have one, you probably have something you're interested in. That's a niche. If you're a streamer, don't just stream like whatever the fuck you feel like. I mean, I do that, but I also have an established audience. But and I do have a niche. I do literally have a niche. Find something that you could build a community with. If you just stream like, oh, I'm gonna stream like Diablo 4, and then I'm gonna stream like this and that, and like with no connection at all, you're not gonna build an audience. Like you're just not. You're not. People won't stick around. You need to play something that you can build a community from, and then you can kind of start doing whatever you want to, because then people will stick around for you. But first, you need to stream something that pulls people in, and it has to be something you're interested in as well. A lot of people are like, oh, I'll play Valorant or like Apex Legends because people watch those. Those are popular games. I could build a community like that. And then like no one watches because it's A, it's oversaturated, and B, people could tell when you don't give a shit about something and you're just playing it for like audience engagement. No, find something you feel really passionate about and stream that, like just that. It could be retro games. It could be sports games, it could be racing games, it could be old websites, just anything you're passionate about that you could build a community off of. Find that niche that works for you if you want to start streaming and build an audience, you know. So
But Drop, you could be the Valorant.
I could be the Valorant. I could, that's true. That is true.
I think you're right, because like I think another problem that people don't realize, if you're grinding games just for the view count, and that especially goes for games that have like playing with viewers, that kind of, you know, setup.
Yeah.
Something that you're gonna realize is when you stop doing that thing, the audience that you cultivated will most likely
leave.
Yeah, they're gonna leave. They're gonna miss that thing.
Yeah.
If you grind Valorant for like a year and then you're like, okay, we're only playing cozy farming games now. I've
definitely seen that happen before. Like a lot of MMO streamers, like FF14 streamers or fighting game streamers, their audience like doesn't watch like their streams when they play something else. When they don't play a fighting game, when they don't play FF14, they don't watch. They straight up don't watch. I feel very lucky that that's not the case with me. I've built my viewers watch for me. Like it's me. It's 100% me. It's not because like they could be more or less interesting a game I pick at the time or the media I'm like sharing with people, but people tune in like 100% for me, and that is, I feel so lucky because I want to stream whatever the fuck I want to. Like I don't want to have to stream like be stuck to a specific genre or game. So I feel every time I stream, I'm like, I'm so happy and I'm so lucky that people are here for me, and not because I'm really good at Street Fighter 6, for example.
I hope my community feels similarly about me, but I think
they do.
Yeah.
They definitely do.
I played so many games where I thought there's like no way someone cares about this. Like there's like no way someone's like, oh, this person is streaming Pangya, the Korean golf MMO. Like,
I love Pangya.
Wow. I like Pangya a lot. I want to play Pangya again.
Pangya is really cool.
I think Pangya ironically was like my best performing game ever, where people just joined like for the game. I was
It has
really
quite a
surprised.
following. It has quite a following, Pangya.
I was really surprised with that because like I am always so anxious when I need to tag games. I always do the excuse. I always tag stuff as retro because I'm like, okay, Pangya has like 4 concurrent watchers.
Yeah.
This is probably not gonna work out if I tag
everything as retro.
Yeah. This is our advice. This is like tangible Twitch advice to tag things as retro.
Yes.
But yeah, like I think you're really spot on with like the find your niche thing, and I can add on to that and just say that if you try something like handcam streams, for example, and you find that maybe people aren't joining at first, or people are like, you aren't sure if it's like the right thing. Give yourself some time to make it like a recurring format, like try it for a month, trying for 2 months. If you try it for 1 stream, the chance is gonna be really low, that it's immediately gonna be a thing.
Right, things don't always work out at first, so you have to give them a couple tries.
Like for me, I host the Rain Parade, right? So every Wednesday, we put on a walking video at some part of the world. It can be Japan, Korea, the UK, the US, Switzerland, Luxembourg, China. It can be whatever. And we listen to the rain and we just kind of have like a real talk kind of.
That sounds really nice. Yeah, that sounds really, really nice. That sounds really lovely.
And like at the beginning I thought, oh, this is so stupid. Like I thought, okay, no one's gonna watch like a just chatting stream where there is just like a YouTube video with some rain in the background. But people like it. And now that I've done it for like almost a year, I really do have people that say, oh, it's Rain Parade time. This is like my favorite time of the week. It's time for the Rain Parade.
Yeah. That sounds really, that sounds really lovely. And that's a perfect example. Yeah. That's really nice.
It's the same thing with the podcast. Like, I think these kind of things, especially in the just chatting category, they take a bit of time to set up, and you kind of need to find like your mojo, the way you kind of want to conduct the stream, topics that are allowed, topics that aren't allowed, the kind of guests you want to invite. But like, when you have that, I think it's the same with like co-working streams, that kind of stuff too. Yeah, like when you have it set up, it can become like a nice way to define yourself, to kind of form your niche.
I totally get that. No, I agree. I totally agree, for sure.
I think that also has like the benefit that you're not kind of tied to a game.
Yeah. So
compared to like Valorant or League, I think that might be a bit easier for newcomers to kind of start out.
Mm-hmm. No, I not being tied to something is pretty important, I think, as well. Yeah.
But what was the hardest thing for you when you first started out?
Honestly, it wasn't like it was purely just technical difficulties. Like I remember there was this one stream where I was just I really didn't get how streaming worked at the time, or how OBS worked, and the hardest thing was like streaming itself was easy for me. I have a lot of experience in public speaking, and it's all just like it all came natural to me, and except for the technical aspect. And there was one stream where I had like 2 microphones activated, and someone came into my stream and they're like, "Are you echoing?" And I was like because of my room. And they're like, "No, you have 2. I hear you. It's 2 microphones. I hear you twice from 2 different sources." I was like, "Oh, I see. I get how it works now." So purely 100%, it was 100% just technical stuff, like getting used to technical stuff at the start. I'm still not entirely used to it, honestly.
During my debut stream, I had my mouse cursor like on my face because I used to like drag around my model during the stream. So I had my mouse cursor on my face, and I didn't read it properly. So I set the stream as a rerun stream.
Oh my god.
Because I read it as like, do you want to like rerun the stream after it's done? I didn't properly like read it. So people will come in and they're like, wait, you're responding to chat. Like, how can this be like a rerun of a stream?
That is really, really funny.
Yeah.
But it's yeah, that's the kind of mistake I would make as well, back early on. Oh.
Yeah, at least it wasn't screen capture. It was also, I think I
Oh,
had
God.
screen capture on. And like for the PowerPoint, I like awkwardly tabbed in and tabbed out of the PowerPoint. Like I did my best, but it wasn't really good. Like I know some VTubers like rewatch their debut. I don't know if I want to do that.
I didn't even do a debut. I just started streaming games. Like I did a debut for my new model. It was like a re-debut, but you know, it was fun. It was fun.
I think honestly that might be better than having a big debut party, because like I see these posts on Twitter where people spend like $2,000 for like an anime opening for like their VTuber, like their lore video and like their introduction video. And I'm just, yo, I don't have that kind of money.
Yeah, I definitely don't have that kind of money either. But you know, if they have that kind of disposable income, good for them, I suppose. But I could not afford that, like not even remotely.
I just want to say, you know, like be cautious, treat it as a hobby, and don't over invest in something you don't know that, you know, you might like or might not like yet.
Yeah, don't ever over invest in something you're not sure of. Always sound advice for anything.
The bullying filter recognized "you rich baby" as like a slur, as like a bad word.
That's amazing. I love that. Rich baby, offensive, possibly offensive. Oh my god.
I have my filter set to like super ultra baby mode.
Yeah.
Because we have, you know, we talk about like some, you know, like sensitive topics sometimes, and I want people to be vulnerable. So I have it set to like ultra baby mode.
I get you. I totally understand that. No, that's fair.
But I think, you know, I don't think anyone really minds. Yeah, it's definitely true that thank you, rich baby VTubers, for supporting the arts. Yeah, I think Tefira is also right with like that. It almost kind of seems like you kind of have to do these things because the corpos are doing it.
Yes, like, some people definitely feel pressured into doing it because corpos are doing it, for sure. Yeah.
I think if you want to LARP as a corpo VTuber, you have to be you have to walk the line properly. Like you have to have that mindset and all of the things like both of us have expressed. We hate uploading VODs, we hate doing side content. If you want to LARP as if you were a corpo VTuber, you have to take that stuff seriously and like upload your assets and your things.
Oh god.
And all that.
Yeah, I have like no interest in doing any of that.
I'm so slow.
I would never like make it LARPing as a corpo.
I try to LARP as a corpo. Like my streams are really, I would say my streams have a high quality standard most of the time, or at least it's the highest quality standard that I can offer with my financial situation. But I don't know, like I kind of feel the FOMO sometimes, right? Like I sometimes think, dang, all these new VTubers, they have like this model with like 1 million toggles, and they have like these lore videos and emotes that, you know, look like they're made out of marble. They're like shiny and all that. But
yeah, I get what you mean. I totally get what you mean.
It's like when I see someone posting like 6 skebs in like 1 week, I'm like, wow. You have skep funds I do not have. I respect that. It's
quite pricey. Yeah, I feel the same way. I get you.
Oh, thank you guys. Yeah, I try, you know, I do my best with what I have, and
you're doing great.
Thank you. So my next question for you is, what do you do, or like how do you deal with when you're hitting a dead end on a project? So when like things don't really work out like you wanted them to work out for a certain stream or a certain topic.
Right. or just I kind of just dump it. I really do purely like go with the flow when it comes to stuff. So if like something I don't like, I don't really plan things, but if something's not exactly working out, I don't try to force it. I don't try to like salvage it. I almost always just ditch it. I like try to just like freestyle a solution. So if like a stream isn't really working, if a game isn't, I'm not really vibing with the game, I'll just drop it instantly. I don't care. Like a lot of people kind of feel like, oh, I have this in the stream title, so I have to push on. I planned this today. I'm just like, no, I'm good. I'm gonna do something else. So, yeah, if a problem pops up, I'll just dump it like instantly.
I think it's kind of like this is like the tightrope you have to walk, because obviously you need to try things out to see if they work. But
Yeah.
especially if you have technical difficulties, sometimes it's good to just have a backup game or a backup plan. Yeah.
Yeah.
To theorize,
Do
right?
you have a go-to backup game we're playing? I don't have any backups. Like I said, I don't really plan stuff. I don't really prepare stuff ahead of time. I don't really have any kind of backups. So if something goes wrong, I just go to my just chatting screen and talk. Like I said, sometimes I don't even like get to the game on certain streams. Like I have a game planned and I'm so caught up in talking, like it hits the 4-hour mark and I'm like, all right, we're good for today. See you guys next stream. I think this is incredibly annoying for a certain kind of viewer. I don't really think I have those kind of viewers anymore, like the kind of people that like come by just to like, oh, I want to watch this stream. I want to watch this game, right? They're playing like, you know, a cool game I like they're playing Kirby 64. I'm gonna watch this for Kirby 64. I think I've scared all those people off. I think most people know my streams are mostly just for talking, and if we play a game, that's a nice bonus. Yeah, what Greedra said, exactly. It's really just mostly a talk. Yeah. I've done 4 hours. 4 hours Sazatsu is like a regular occurrence. It happens quite often where I just talk for 4 hours. So, you know, that's my number one backup. Always my backup.
Hello, Cass makes games. Hello.
Hi Cass, it's nice to see you. Cass is making a joke because if I often have streams that say arcade game stream, and I always plan on playing arcade games, and I actually just play Neo Turf Masters, which is a golf game. That's the only game I've ever played on those streams. So I always want to play something else, but I'm like, no, I want to golf. Do you mind if I go to the bathroom really quick?
Of course not, you know.
I'll be 1 second, okay?
Yeah, take your
Be
time.
right back. Thank you. BRB.
Yeah, Ghost says you're only here for the non-glitchy Pokemon. With Pokemon, it's like so weird because I really thought I'd have a hard time. Because with Sonic, I had a hard time kind of like pretending that I like the game. But with Pokemon, I can really just be like, this looks like ass, this plays like ass. But the childlike wonder, you know, it's like still there. But I have many things planned. I really do wanna do more retro stuff again because I think I've grown out of my, oh, you know, this game came out and I need to stream it like right away. I think I'm done with that step in my journey. And I think like next week I'm gonna try to get Pangya to work again because I have like, I think I have like 1 million coins for the gacha, and I kind of wanna do some gacha in Pangya and play some golf. So that might be fun. If you wanna join for that. And I wanna play some more Yumeniki fan games. Like I think Yumeniniki, whatever you wanna call it, it's a bit Wow, Flash Mayhem, thank you! Thank you for the follow! You're a shell chiller now. Wear that badge with pride. Yeah. Wow, Camus, thank you! Wow, we're 69! We're at the fated number. We're at 869 shell chillers.
Hello.
What a good time to come back. Very good. Hazel Bunny! Thank you!
Thanks for the follows, everyone.
It's okay. You can ruin the 69. It's all good. It's all good.
Hi, Hazel.
Believe me, I won't mind. But yeah, like I think for me, I don't know if I expect too much from current games or if I'm just too cynical because like I think I played Cyberpunk. It's 2077, I think is the number.
Yeah,
And
that's the number.
I have a pretty decent PC. So like when there are performance issues,
Right.
it's usually not because my system is not that good. It's usually because the game isn't optimized or the Steam port isn't optimized.
That game was that game was awfully that was like a horrible optimization.
Yes.
It was really, really bad.
And I played that game and I bought that game for full price in the holiday season.
No.
And I played that game because I like this kind of like cyberpunky theme. And it was so bad that I kind of cringed out of my boots. I just kind of thought, dang.
I totally get it. I was not a fan of that game at all.
I was really disappointed because I was looking forward to it like so much. Like I didn't care about Keanu Reeves. I don't really care about these like cameo real people in the game kind of thing. But I really liked the world and like what they were trying to do. But I couldn't do it. Like I couldn't play it. I was so disappointed. And
right.
I kind of feel that with like a lot of games. Like I tried playing this anime game recently on stream, and it's called Blue Reflection. It's about...
I've played that. I've played that game. Yeah.
Yeah, like for the viewers, for those that don't know, it's about anime girls confronting their feelings and like their insecurities, and transforming into magical girls, and like fighting their sadness, fighting their loneliness and like insecurities. I love the concept of the game, but the Steam port is unplayable.
Oh no.
Like completely unplayable.
I played it on I think PS4. Yeah, that was fine. It was fine on PS4. It was fine on PS4.
I might have to get it on the Switch because this is like, it's so sad because I tried playing it on stream and it would crash in the intro cutscene. So like immediately unplayable. And then I tried to play it off stream and it crashed in like the second cutscene.
Oh no.
So I thought, okay, so this has nothing to do like with the stream. This is
it's just
like,
a shitty port.
The shitty port. And it's so sad because you pay so much money for that game, for this like experience.
Yeah.
For it to not be optimized. And I was really looking forward to that game, to be completely honest. Like I wanted that game to be good.
It's a huge shame when stuff like that happens. I totally understand that feeling of like crushing disappointment. Yeah.
I think that was like the first and only time where I really had to do the spontaneous Zatsudan. Like,
the
immediately
backup Zatsudan.
The backup Zatsudan. Because I
Backup
was so distraught because I was so ready to play that game on stream, and when it didn't work out, I just thought, okay, I can't settle for anything less. Like we just have to Zatsu till I feel a bit better.
Till I feel better about the stream. I totally understand. Yeah.
You'll still play it, but now I'm kind of, because like I tried to fix the game and I tried to like troubleshoot it, right?
Right.
And while troubleshooting it and like testing, reloading, trying to play it again, denial that this time it will definitely work, I again exceeded the 2 hours mark of refunding.
Oh no.
So now if I want to play it on the Switch, I have to buy it on the Switch.
You have to
and
buy
I can't.
it again.
Yeah,
hopefully it goes on sale soon.
Yes, and this is like the second thing with like Switch games. Them going on sale, it happens like really rarely, and if it happens, it's like a bit hard to find. Or at least I find that. Like I don't know where to look maybe, but like it's hard for me to find them for a decent price, especially the Pokemon games.
No, it's hard. It's hard to find Switch games at a decent price for sure. Yeah.
It's kind of like, I think that goes for all Nintendo games. Like even the DS games, they fetch a high price to this day. Like the Pokemon games, Zelda games on the DS.
No, they never go down in price. They never go down in price. It's a shame.
It really is. It really is. So I want to know, what do you do when you feel burnt out or overworked, and how do you deal with that?
I just well, I mostly just take a break. Honestly, some people don't have that luxury, but when it comes to like artistic endeavors, I think the best way to deal with, honestly, sometimes the only way to deal with burnout or overworking is just to like just take a break. Just take a break from whatever it is that's causing the burnout, you know? Sometimes you don't really have the luxury of doing that if it's like something you're getting paid to do, or like a project you have to finish a deadline for. In those cases, you know, you really could just bunker. All you can really do is bunker down and try to finish it and hope you don't self-implode in the meantime. But I've had that happen too often, that if it happens in like a hobby or like something I do have control over, I just take a break. I'm just like, okay, I'm good for now. I know what like awful, serious burnout feels like, and it's not something you want to experience. So I'm a very big fan of just taking it easy and taking a break.
I think it's the kind of thing where you need to consciously kind of keep in mind how your body feels and what kind of signals your body is sending, because like if you find yourself getting tired more easily when you stream, if you find yourself like getting a headache while you stream more often, or if you even like if you get like a anxiety kind of feeling like before you start up the stream or when the stream is done, and you check the email of like how your stream performed. I always get that from Twitch. I get like an email saying,
oh yeah, that email is really annoying.
Yeah, I get one from Streamlabs and from Twitch. I don't mind them because sometimes they're a bit funny. Like sometimes I have like a person uses like an emote twice, and then they'll say like 200% increase in the use of like this emote, and I'm like, yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
it's like, hell yeah. Someone used it twice. 200% increase. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, like sometimes I read them for fun, but I don't take them that seriously anymore.
Yeah, same. 100% same.
But yeah, like it's definitely a thing where if you find that what you're streaming isn't working, or you kind of like pigeonholed yourself into a certain genre of stream, take a little break. Don't feel guilty about taking a break.
Exactly.
And then try again.
Yeah, it's never too late to change your mind about something or take a step back. It's never too late to take a step back. Always be sure to take a step back if you feel things aren't working out. Don't ever force yourself into something. Don't get tunnel vision. Always be aware that you have the opportunity to just reverse things, you know?
And your audience will understand. Like, I don't think my audience was ever mad when I was like, oh, I don't want to play Sonic Frontiers anymore.
Yeah. people are more sympathetic than you think, you know?
Yeah. And if they aren't, new people will come along.
Of course. If they aren't, then you don't want them around in the first place.
Happy Father's Day. I don't really have a dad.
Hi, an okay guy.
But I consider
Same.
King DDD my dad.
I don't have a father either, so.
Yeah. Well, happy Father's Day to King DDD.
Sure. Yeah, King DDD. I love King DDD. King DDD is pretty great.
Yeah. I want him to have a nice day today and eat a Maxi tomato.
I would love to eat a Max tomato.
I would love to eat a Maxi.
I always wondered if those taste different than like normal tomatoes.
We are the dads. Oh yeah.
Ah, I see.
I don't know if I qualify as a dad, but I'm a dad in spirit.
Same. Yeah, sure, in spirit, sure.
Now go to your room and like clean it and stuff. I don't know what dads do.
Yeah, me neither.
So, what are you currently like working on? What is something you're trying to like get off the ground, or are you just kind of going with the flow on that one?
Something I'm trying to get off the ground. Well, first of all, yeah, what Cass said, watch a stream where someone's forcing themselves to play a game they don't like is the worst. It's so awful. Yeah. I mentioned that earlier. People could tell. People can genuinely tell. But aside from that, like something I am currently working on. I'm working on a couple projects. You know, I always work on a lot of projects because I take them really, really slow. I'm not the kind of person that like really rushes to finish things. But right now I'm currently working on a little game with some friends of mine. So that's something I'm really excited about. That's kind of taking up all my attention. So for streaming, like I don't really have too much else. Like I have a new model coming out next month or like the month after. I have to figure it out. But I have a new model coming out, brand new model, still dropped, but you know, drops 3.0, and it's gonna have new assets, new overlays, new intro, new ending screen, a completely new everything. So I guess that counts as a project. I'm pretty busy with that too as well. Those are two things that take up my time the most right now.
Oh, but I like your Subway background. I think you recently.
Yeah, that's part of
deleted-
it. Yeah, I just got that. I just got that one.
Ah.
That's part of my brand new. It's brand new. It's really nice. It's really cool. Thank you. I thank you.
Hello, Nisa Rain. Hello.
Hi, Nisa. Nice to see you. Push it back to August. Sure, Tiff. No problem. No problem. But yeah, secret. All secret. Oh, I can't wait to reveal it. I can't wait to show it all off. I'm very excited.
Just let me know the release date and I'll be there.
Of course. Thank you. Thank you.
Your streams are like at the perfect time for me. You stream at like 10 a.m. So I can always turn on the PC and I'm like, hell yeah, the workday starts.
I'm
right?
glad. That makes me really happy. I'm really happy to hear that.
Like
Thank you.
sometimes I'll be in like a work meeting. We have like a meeting twice a week. And then I'll have you on the screen on the right, and I'll always like secretly like look over while everyone else is talking. Because like
watch them try.
Like let's face it, like usually there isn't much that's like important that's being discussed in the meetings. Like,
Meetings are pointless most of the time.
They're completely pointless. Like if something happens, I think one-on-one is like the only type of meeting that really makes sense. If it's like, I don't know, breach in company policy, or if it's like a, like, I don't know, work things, right?
Yeah, no, I get that, yeah.
But these like weekly onboardings, they make no sense to me. They're always a bit dry and pointless.
Just busy work. Yeah, they're just pointless busy work.
That's the kind of thing, I think you could do those like during the work lunch. I think that could easily replace those, and then you could have at least like nice food going with it.
Or just cut them out entirely,
Yeah. I mean, I'm like half watching. I'm obviously listening. Like I do have to reply when I'm being asked something. But I just kind of figured out, because like in the past couple work meetings, people were talking about like the weather and, like their plans for the summer. And I just kind of realized I was like, okay, it will.
Yeah, just like.
Yeah. Oh. I think. Are you back? Hello.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm here.
Your model looked for a second as if you were sleeping. I thought you might have lost connection.
My model, my track is a little weird at times.
Same for me. But yeah, like it's definitely.
I might have just been drinking water.
I see. Yeah. Okay, that's good. Stay hydrated. Very good. Very good.
Of course, I stay very hydrated.
Oh, your sleeping emoji is so cute. Your bed emoji, I like that.
It's really cute. I also have an emoji where it's me waking up as well.
Oh, I like them. I like the snot bubble. Oh, the other one is cute too. Swirl awake. That one's also really cute.
Those are very cute. Those are very, very cute.
I like your art style.
Yeah, it's they're all made by a friend of mine. They look really nice and unified, and they're good. They're very cute emotes.
Oh yeah, they are by Margot, the person who has a food truck, like a food truck.
Yakimo. Yeah, sweet potato truck, yeah.
It's such a cool concept. Like every time I see them on my timeline, I get hungry for sweet potato.
I love sweet potatoes. Yeah, I totally understand.
I could use a sweet potato right about now. This would be perfect. So we're almost done. I have 2 more questions for you.
All right.
So my next. Oh, it's her birthday tomorrow. Oh,
it is her birthday tomorrow.
So nice. I'll wish her a happy birthday then when I see it on my timeline. But I want to know what project or like stream, that you had made you the most proud. Can be overall, can be recent, whatever you want to talk about.
Most proud. That's interesting, because thinking about like my streams in general, I don't really often feel a sense of pride with them. I'm happy when things go right, but like I said, they're not like 100% like creatively fulfilling for me, because often they're just like hangouts, But I am happy when a stream goes well. And I think the stream I would like have to be the proudest of is probably Man, I wonder. I've never really done like any. I don't really do any like special event streams or anything like that. I really do take it easy. So there's nothing like that stands out that I put like a bunch of hard work into. But I'm pretty proud of like, I would say my demo disc streams, as a whole. Just that's something I'm very like passionate about as an art form and as a media, and it's just I'm really happy I got to like spread knowledge of those out into the world, and I had a lot of people stop by. I think they're really interesting, and I'm pretty sure I'm the only person that streamed like a bunch of like Dreamcast, Saturn era demo discs, and they're really interesting because they have a lot of stuff on them that are exclusive to those demo discs. Like in terms of like, one of them had like a Gillette shaving ad mini game from 1996 or something I've never seen before. There's like one YouTube video of it, like with 20 views. Those are probably the streams I'm the most proud of. I really enjoy those. Thank you, Kaz. I love them as well. I just like I said, I do archiving as well. I make things more readily accessible for people. And a bunch of people like that stop by my streams as well. But I like focus on, you know, Dreamcast and Saturn ones, and there's a lot of like Dreamcast and Saturn promo discs that are on the internet but not really readily available. A lot of them I've gotten from like Russian forums and like really shady download sites, and a lot of it's taking me like hours to find certain discs, and I like making those easily available for the English side of the internet. So I guess that when it comes to streaming, that's probably what I'd be the most proud of. And like, yeah, like the state of my channel right now, like, you know, someone mentioned in chat, I'm pretty proud of that as well. So I'm pretty good, you know, hopefully my next partner application is going to give me partner. So I am proud of that as well.
Would you consider yourself as a part of the like lost media community?
Sure. Yeah, I would say so. Yeah. I cover a lot of stuff like that. A lot of like, you know, demo discs and promo discs and stuff like the Satellaview, the like SNES online like add-on that like is not even fully archived anymore. So I would say for the somewhat part of that. Definitely, a lot of this isn't like lost; it's just waiting to be found, which is different. To me, lost is like you can't find it, right? Like you could look for it, you won't be able to find it. But a lot of this stuff is just like kind of like buried underground, and I guess the way I see it is I dig it up and I make it like, you know, people could discover it again. People are aware of it, knowledgeable that it exists. I would say I'm somewhat part of that. Yeah, the choice. Those are good streams as well, Cass. And yeah, Johan. Demo discs are really cool. I love, Japanese freeware discs in particular are really neat.
I find it so crazy because sometimes these discs have almost like a prototype version of certain games.
Yeah, I've found stuff on these discs that is not mentioned on the internet anywhere else. Like I've had that happen quite a few times. Like genuinely, like, oh, like this version has, I think it was like Sly Cooper was the game that had like something in it, like the demo for it had something in it that I have never seen anyone else mention before. It was like a whole unused character, and I thought that was really interesting. And like I've had a couple experiences like that. Yeah, it's like game archaeology, exactly.
That's such a nice term for it. I know that with some consoles, it's really hard to emulate them though. So I think
yes.
They're not, you know, like technically lost, but it's really hard to make them accessible.
Yes, there's certain consoles that, not just due to the way they were built technology-wise, but also because there's a general lack of interest in them. That like you just can't emulate them properly. And I am pretty much on the like, I do find a lot of stuff that is not emulatable, which is disappointing to me because I'd love to be able to like experience it for myself. But I also stream a lot of emulators that are like really newly released. Like I streamed like the entire N-Gage library. The N-Gage emulator is brand new. It's like a year old, like a year and a half old. And I had like the people that worked on the emulator, they came into my Twitch chat and they're like, "You're the first person to stream this stuff. Thank you for showing it off."
Oh, that's so cool.
I thought it was, yeah, and I really, really love the Engage now. Really underrated piece of history, despite being a huge flop. Or like the Megaduck, yeah, I was really glad the Megaduck was emulated as well. Another like obscure handheld. I like streaming that kind of stuff, you know, just obscurity. I like bringing it back to light. But yeah, a lot of stuff is documented, but the forums go offline. There's just a lot of lost stuff on the internet, unfortunately.
A lot of people are saying we're reaching like the end stage of the internet.
Maybe.
People are really mad at the moment with how things are going.
To me, I think the internet's kind of being like, you know, homogenized. Like everything's on like one or two sites nowadays. Like you have like Facebook, Reddit, like, and
Twitter.
I don't know, like Instagram, Twitter. You know, we don't really have the whole fracture. The internet used to feel like it was alive, like it was like a whole world you could explore. And it was wonderful. You had all these different websites you could go to. And it was just like, it really felt like its own thriving world. And now it feels like a product. I think if we ever approach like the end stage of the internet, when it comes to like, you know, everything being fused in one giant website form, just like redditgram.com or whatever, the only website on the internet.
Oh, that's
I think
scary.
eventually I really can't see like the cyberpunk style future happening. I think corporations, and they kind of just bloat until they pop. I really don't see one of them like ever solidifying its full control over like the internet. I think these websites will eventually like splinter and die because the people running them are idiots. Reddit right now is having its own crisis, and a lot of people are, you know, leaving the website, shutting down their forums on Reddit, and eventually something new will pop up. So as disappointed as I am to see the internet like be less exciting than it was in the past, I think these giant websites will always continue to die. We'll never have the problem where the internet is just one website, because the people running Reddit, Facebook, Instagram, they're all really stupid. They're stupid and greedy, and all they care about is money.
Yeah,
and that's
money's
always
on the
gonna
line.
bite them in the ass. Yeah.
I think it's like something
Happened to
I thought
MySpace.
about. Yeah, happened to MySpace, happened to MSN. Is that the one?
Yeah, happened to Dig, happened to like a bunch of big social medias.
Skype.
It's gonna happen to Reddit. Skype.
Okay,
yeah.
Skype doesn't really count, but do you still use Skype? I don't think so.
I don't.
Something I recently thought about that I don't see a lot of people really
Twitter,
talking about is people are really mad when they have minors following them on Twitter or interacting with them on Twitter, or you have minors like in your chat. And I get it, like I get that can be annoying, but like when I was a child, you know, I spent most of my time in forums about like Kirby, you know, about like things I liked.
Right.
And I remember I spent a lot of time on like Nickelodeon.com and like Barbie.com, and I play those like Flash games and stuff. And I think nowadays you don't really have that kind of thing. You don't really have like a child safe internet where you can just kind of hang out. Like I know, what is it called? It's not Amigo. It's really similar though. It's it was like this social media.
Yeah.
I forgot what its name was, but it was like specifically for like minors, and that didn't really pan out. So like I kind of miss that, because like I remember my main hobby as like a child was I would look up Pokemon news that weren't available in Germany at that point.
Yeah.
So for example, when like Black and White came out, I downloaded a list of like the Pokédex with the Japanese names.
Yeah.
And I started like memorizing them and like making my own Pokédex, because, you know,
that's really cool.
We didn't have that in Germany yet. And I started, you know, like I memorized like the Japanese names. I know that Tepig is like Pokabu. Is his Japanese name. And I just remember, like, for me, these like video game news and just like fan forums, like in Germany we had Bisa fans, so like Bulbasaur fans. That was like a big German Pokemon website for kids. Yeah. And I just kind of feel like all these like hobbies, like games and art and stuff, it's really adult marketing centric, and there aren't really places for kids to just kind of nerd out anymore.
Yeah, I think like spaces for children so that have kind of been removed, like Club Penguin, Hubba Hotel, just a bunch of like fan sites aimed at children. All that shit is gone. I think, and first of all, I think that's bad for the kids of the world because they kind of just have to like go on social media and stuff, which is like not very healthy, and more importantly, it's boring.
Except for Hubba Hotel, it's probably good that's gone.
Yeah, probably. Or like Guy Online and stuff like that. But I also think kids nowadays, because they don't have these forums and like all these like internet like places to learn the culture, they just don't get it. Like children on the internet nowadays are so it's really, I think the most important rule of being on the internet, no matter what age you are, is you should always lurk more. You should always lurk. You should always find out what the vibes and the rules are of a place before you interact with the people there. And I learned this as a child, going through internet forum to internet forum, because it's like almost like a real life experience. It teaches you like manners and social experiences and stuff. And kids don't really have the opportunity anymore nowadays, and they kind of just like go on Twitter and stuff, and they don't really learn that really important value that you have to lurk and understand how a place operates before you interact with the people there. And especially I noticed this during Twitch streaming. When I was a kid, when I was a teenager, I posted on so many forums. I've been posting in this since I was like 6. And I learned, don't say your fucking age to anyone, because people are going to treat you like an idiot, right? Because you're like, oh, I'm 15. They're like, oh, this guy's a kid. This girl's a child, ban them, get them out of here. No one wants to listen to them. And, it's you just don't get treated with any respect when you're a child on the internet, of course. So I always, I just never told my age to anyone, ever, because that's how I worked back then. Like, don't discuss your age in public, because it's not an important aspect anyways. For posting like the Mega Man fan forum, you're there to post my Mega Man. You don't need everyone to know you're 14. And because of that, I got a lot of experience talking to people I normally would never have talked to, and I got a lot of good life experiences. I learned a lot of knowledge, and I learned a lot of things that were very important for my just for my formative years. And nowadays I'm streaming on Twitch, and people, rule number 1, never say your age and never say where you're from.
Yeah.
Don't share personal information. And nowadays I'm streaming on Twitch, and someone will come into chat and they're like, hey, what's up, I'm 14. And I'm like, it's astounding to me. It's so crazy to me. Like, these kids haven't learned, like, you have to try to blend in. Don't tell people your age. Don't like make it clear you're a child. It's so like back in the day on internet forums, man, that is like the rule of the internet. Don't tell people your age. Don't tell people your personal information. And nowadays I see all these teenagers coming in. They have like a card with like their age and their country where they live and like a picture of themselves. And I'm like, oh my god, this is like it's culture shock for me, at least. I'm like, I never ever would have shared any of that back in the day, and I don't think you should. I really don't think you should. I think in 10 years a lot of these teenagers are going to regret having all of their personal information easily accessible online. I think it's a big mistake, personally. Yeah, a card with a list of their fears on it. My big advice to teenagers, like, everywhere, is don't tell people shit. Privacy. Your privacy is important. I know you don't realize that yet because you're a kid, but your privacy is really, really important.
I find it quite interesting because I always keep up with like new Vtuber talent that is like popping up, right?
Yeah.
I like seeing people's models and like what they come up with and who they are. But sometimes when I pop into a stream of like a model, I found interesting,
yeah,
I just immediately, I can kind of like sniff out that this is like a 15-year-old, this is a 16-year-old. And
right,
I'm just like, I shouldn't be here. This is like not for me. I, as a mature adult, have no reason to interact with them.
Same. I feel the exact same way. I just, I I just don't want to interact with any teenagers or children.
It makes me
And
a bit
it's
sad, but it has to like happen. I have to like unfollow them usually when I
Yeah.
see that they're a bit too young for my
Right.
friend group like age range.
And I feel a little bad for them because as when I was a kid, like I said, I learned a lot of like wisdom from hanging out online with like people older than me, because you can't get away with that in real life. Of course, if you're like 12 or 14, you can't walk up to a group of adults and hang out with them. It would be weird. But like if I, on the internet, it's kind of like all those like social boundaries are erased for better or worse. And so as when I was 14, I learned a lot of stuff I wouldn't have learned at that age. Like a lot of people in real life always said, oh, you're like really mature. Like, and like, that's a good thing. It's a good quality to have. You have a good like outlook on life at your age. I'm like, yeah, thanks. That's because of the Sonic fan forums I would post on. So yeah, I learned that from my Sonic friends, of course. And so I do feel a bit bad for these teenagers, but it's like, I don't want to interact with them. I just don't want to. I don't want to interact with like anyone below the age of 20 because our life experiences are just like too like different at that point. I don't know what we would talk about, honestly.
Yeah, I just kind of feel it's just not my place. Like I don't want to call it like a red flag. That will go a bit too far. But sometimes I'll follow someone because I like their model, and then they'll tweet, "School was so tough today. Miss Harrison gave us so much math homework."
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, I can't be here. This is my
I
call
cannot
to
be here.
leave. Yeah, this is like
I can't be here. I feel the exact same way.
And Ghost says, yeah, I was raided into a stream and about 10 minutes in realized everyone there was underage. Yeah. It's just, I don't know. It always just makes me sad because sometimes I'll see like, oh, I'm 16 and I'm like a Manhera VTuber, and I'm like, yo, please, don't make yourself so like vulnerable and like you're.
Yeah, don't make yourself vulnerable. That's important because people will attack anyone that they perceive to have vulnerabilities. I learned online very quickly to always have my guard up, and it's a little sad to have a mindset like that, but it's also realistic, and I think it's an important thing to learn, honestly.
I have this like one core memory, two actually. My first core memory is that I played Final Fantasy XIV for a good while, and I made a character who was a Lalafell, so that's like the Smurf, dwarf, whatever you want to call it, race, a small race. Yeah. But it's kind of like, they look cute, but
they're
obviously...
Cute. Yeah, they're like the dwarves, basically.
They're like the dwarves, yeah. They're definitely
like gnomes,
better.
Like gnomes.
Yeah. They're definitely better than the Ellen in like Terra or something. Like they aren't sexualized by default. Yeah. I'd say. And like I remember I was running with my Lalafell character, and a person came to me and started like petting my character's head. And then they asked me how old I was. If I was like over 18, and I said, yes.
So weird.
Like yes, I am over 18. Yeah. And then they spammed like a fist emote and said not interested and like walked away. And
what the fuck?
I was
God. Holy shit. That is a crazy story.
And I just remember that interaction like to this day. It's just like stuck with me that they were like dancing around my character, like petting, hugging, like doing all that stuff. And then I said I was like over 18, and they like slapped my character and said like not interested.
Oh my god, that's genuinely terrifying. That is genuinely terrifying. That is a terrifying event. You gotta keep your guard up. You gotta keep your guard up no matter where you are. I've learned that on the internet, and because people like that exist.
Yeah, and like my other core memory is this is when I was like 14, 13. I remember I played an MMO, and it wasn't like a popular MMO. It was like some weird Korean MMO. I don't want to say it was like Nostale, but it was like really similar to Nostale. And I just remember in my guild there were like people in their 40s. And I just remember like I was like 13, and I talked to this like 40-year-old woman, and she told me about like her marriage woes. And I had to help her for like a mental health crisis while like farming the mobs. I remember.
I don't think that's like I'm kind of conflicted on stuff like that because I obviously a child or someone younger should not be having to like deal with that. But I also think I've had like experience like that too, and I think it has given me as a teenager and later on in life, it's given me a bit more of a worldly worldview than I would have like not having experienced stuff like that. Because it's stressful to hear about someone's like marital issues, right? Like their problems with their husband or wife, but it's also like kind of broadened my horizons at the time, and it's kind of made me realize I don't know. There's a lot of stuff I learned from speaking to people like that, and them not knowing how old I was as a teenager, and that like helped me navigate real life situations as well. So it's not really something you should be dealing with as a teenager, but I'm happy I did. Honestly, I'm happy I got to meet so many different people and experience all their different problems. Honestly, I got to hear about so many different problems and like experiences, and it's definitely helped. It helps develop like empathy as well. I think it goes a long way in developing like a sense of empathy, because when you're a teenager or even young in general, your empathy it's not great. It's not really great, honestly. But seeing I don't know, just interacting, having real experience like that and not just going to school and like having a food fight during lunchtime or something. I don't know. It definitely helped me mature in a healthy way, I think, at least.
Hi, welcome to Earth. Hello, hello.
Hi, welcome.
Welcome to Earth, one could say. But yeah, like I really get that. Like for me, I hung around in a lot of MMOs and a lot of mobile games, and I did competitive raiding in mobile games. I used to play like a certain anime card game that isn't around anymore, and I had to log in every 5 hours to help the guild with like a boss.
Right.
And I remember like I did
Sorry,
that.
one second. Sorry, 1 second.
Yeah. I can cook, but we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about like 2000 MMOs, so just like
okay, sorry about that. I'm back. Hi.
All good, all good. But yeah, like it's so crazy to me. Like I was around so many like gaming adults as a teen.
Yeah.
And like all sorts of different games. And it's just wild to me, like how many different people and like their experience I've met. And I wonder if like when I'm 40, I'm gonna be like the adult that hangs around like an MMO and it's like in a guild with like a million different people.
Yeah, who knows? Honestly, I don't know what I'll be doing at 40.
Oh, Cameron, thank you for the resub. Thank you. Thank you for the 5 months. It's just like the early 2000s MMO sphere was really unique.
Yeah,
and with
for
mobile
sure.
games too. Like I was a proud mobile gamer.
Yeah, I can't say I have played any mobile games, but the MMO sphere was definitely unique at the time. Yeah.
I think back in the day there was just like a certain variety that isn't here anymore, because like
No, I agree.
I played like a mobile version of like League of Legends because I wasn't allowed to play the PC League of Legends.
Ah, I see.
For some time.
Yeah.
And like I was like quite good at that game, and I liked that game a lot. And I don't know, there were so many like unique games that just aren't really a thing anymore, unfortunately.
No, unfortunately, especially when it comes to like online games and MMOs and stuff, totally.
Okay, I have one last question for you.
All right.
Do your friends and your family know and support your passion?
My passion. Well, like, as in VTubing, or just like my biggest passion in general?
Again, both answers would be interesting to hear out, but the question itself is geared towards VTubing.
Well, for VTubing, sure, they know about it. I'm not like ashamed of it or anything. I like at work or like anywhere, if we're talking about like something, hobbies and stuff, and I tell people straight up. I've told a lot of people. I've shown people my model, my phone, and stuff like that, and it's it's something I'm very open about. I won't give out my Twitch username to people I know in real life. I think that's embarrassing because I don't like people watching me when I'm streaming that I know. But yeah, people have been pretty supportive about it. A lot of people, like, I don't really get people involved in real life, so I don't, not that far, but I do let them know about it, and they're like, oh, that's cool, you know. So it's pretty. I don't keep it a secret. I definitely don't keep it a secret. And as for like, but like just in general, like, or my artistic endeavors, like my passions, yeah, sure, I guess you could say that. I always do things alone, I would say. I don't like talking to people about like my problems or my passions. Well, I do like talking to people about my passions, but not like the problems with my passion. Like, if things go well, I tell people about them, and if they don't, I don't. So I don't really ask for help from people. I don't really ask for support. I'm very open about the things I do, streaming, my art. I'm very open about all of that, but I don't really seek anyone's support in general when it comes to that. It's really, I think I've learned, the most important person you can rely on and always trust is yourself. And so that's you know, my philosophy for life, really. If I need to rely on someone, I will ask people. I'm not ashamed to ask for help. I will gladly ask people for help if I have to. But as a whole, I'm not really the kind of person that like does things like some of my friends are like, you know, duos, or they work in group projects, or they're artists that, like, a lot of my artistic friends in real life are part of, like, you know, assemblies or collectives, and that's I really can't do that, unfortunately. That's just not something I do or I'm comfortable with, I suppose. So yeah, you could say people support me, but I, you know, to a light degree.
Foggy Fog, hello!
Hi Foggy.
Yeah, I know how that feels, because, like, for me especially, like, I wish I had a group. I sometimes wish I had my own, like, pop and start, you know, 4 friends. We all like retro games and like 2000s things, and we all get along. But, like, for me, it's so difficult to kind of put my trust in other people that I've met, you know, through the internet.
Right, I know, I get that, yeah.
That long. Or it's like, I think I must be really sure of, like, who that person is before I start, like, doing group content with them.
Right.
Like, I'm really protective over my own character and, like, my own streams.
Like, same. I totally 100% get. That's how I feel as well, personally. For, like, all artistic things when it comes to me. So yeah, I get you 100%.
But, like, I think my parents don't really understand how streaming works.
Yeah.
So I kind of, like, given up telling them about it much, but they know that I am doing it. And just like in general, I think with friends, it's been a bit difficult because I obviously don't have that many, like, VTuber friends that I talk to, like, every day. And with friends who don't VTube, it's a bit hard sometimes to, like, talk about, I don't know, you know, social media networking or planning my streams or my numbers, you know, things that give me, like, anxiety. So I kind of have to, like, one-man army this, like, a lot of the time, and I don't really get a lot of emotional support.
I totally get that as well. I understand.
Luckily, my partner cares, so I talk to my partner about that.
That's lovely. That's really nice.
And that's enough. Like, I've kind of given up to like, tell most friends, like, about it, because sometimes they'll be weird about it too. Sometimes they'll be like, "Oh, can you shout me out in a stream?"
Oh, I get that.
And I'm like, okay, maybe it was a mistake to tell you about this.
Yeah, a small support network is still, you know, could still be strong enough to, you know, feel nice. So as long as you have at least one person you could trust, I think it'll end up all right, you know.
I have a couple of, like, 2 or 3 IRL friends and, like, 2 to 3 VTubing or, like, just, like, you know, streaming related friends, and that's plenty, I think.
No, I think that's more than plenty. No, I'm really happy you have at least that. That is, I personally think that's plenty.
Yeah.
Like, 100%.
I agree. Like sometimes, especially when like the numbers don't add up, or like had like tech stuff or something. Yes, obviously I get a bit miffed. I get a bit sad. But I sometimes just think, okay, no one's gonna really like understand or care about it if I like talk to them about it. Like I need to get through this like on my own, and this will probably be the best.
I feel
for
the
everyone.
same. I feel the same way sometimes. Yes, I totally understand. I totally get you.
Like sometimes I'll say to my partner like, oh, I invited this person to the podcast and they left me on read.
Oh
And
no.
then did like a thing with someone else, and I'm just like, you know, part of me is like a little bit sad, but my partner will just say, you know, and you know, like, is this like such a big deal? Like, does this matter like at all? And I'll be like, yeah, you know, maybe you're right. Maybe this doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things.
A different perspective is nice to have, you know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Of someone who loves touching grass and isn't like as
online.
Someone who made their Twitter a week ago and is like still starstruck about it.
Exactly.
All right, we reached our 2-hour mark and we went through all the
that
questions.
flew by.
Yeah,
Hell
we
yeah.
had such a good time.
That was awesome.
too.
Yeah, I had a really good time. Thank you.
I'd really like to like collab with you again if you're up for that in
Sure.
the future.
Yeah. Sure. In the future, we should arrange something. That would be really nice.
I'll be moving back to Germany next month, so that will take like a little bit, probably like a couple weeks. But when I'm all set up, I'll let you know.
Yeah, hit me up for sure. And you know, thanks all to everyone that watched as well. All the viewers.
Analog is right, yeah, like the numbers don't matter, but sometimes it's like, you know, when you try to like wish something into existence, when you're working really hard on something, especially like when you're networking with people and it just doesn't really go both ways, it can be a bit frustrating.
It is. No, absolutely 100% frustrating. I totally get what you mean. Yeah.
Especially like, I think for me, I always get sad because like a person will say, yeah, I'm fine doing the podcast. And then they keep postponing and rescheduling and like keeping me on read when I gave them a time slot.
I'd rather people just say it straight up, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And it's like a bit...
I totally get it.
That can be a bit stressful for me. Yeah, like planning things out. But that's it pretty much. Everything else is going steady. I'm really happy.
Oh God.
All right. Thank you, Drop, for being here. Thank you for being a wonderful guest.
Thank you so much for being a wonderful host. It was a lot of fun.
And let's see, who can we rate today? Let's see.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
Is someone from the Pop and Start crew online right
Yes,
now?
but they're on their... she's on her alt account. So we could still rate that, though. It's not like a secret or anything.
Yeah, if you're comfortable and if they are comfortable with it.
Oh, they are.
Okay,
she rates people on her alt account all the time.
Yeah.
It's dot level, but this is her alt.
I know them. We have rated them before. They're so nice.
Oh no, wait, she's rating someone right now. Hold on. She's rating someone else right now.
Thank you, Rita, and thank you, Hazel. Thank you, everyone. You're so nice.
I guess she's just ending. Yeah, no one else is online, unfortunately.
Okay, I thought it might be nice if it's like a fellow Pop and Star member, but I can also find someone else. Or you guys, if you have someone you wanna suggest who's still streaming. I see one of my friends who's playing an indie game.
I'm okay with rating. Yeah, I'm okay with rating one of your friends. Fine with me.
Yeah, then let's rate Schlen. Because they're an avid viewer. Teo is there as well, but we haven't rated Schlen yet, and we rated Teo twice. So I would prefer rating Schlen. Just, out of the virtue of not having rated them before. Some fairness. Fairness in my ranks. But Teo is lovely. You can give Teo a big shout out. They're a mental health focused streamer. They're a emotional support goat. They're really nice.
That's really cool.
Well, they gave me a shout out earlier. Maybe we should rate them. Yeah, they gave me a shout out earlier. Now I feel conflicted. We will rate Schlen next time then. That's okay. Alright, we're rating Teo. They're playing Tears of the Kingdom. And I hope you guys have fun with that. Alright. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
Okay, we'll take a couple seconds till the raid's ready, but yeah. clean your room, eat your vegetables, wash behind your ears, take your vitamins. Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.